Some analysts are saying Tesla stock is going to go down significantly over the next 6 months. Others say otherwise. But there's not many, to be honest, that are saying that Tesla is a safe place to put your money right now. One of them one investor who is famous for her bullish opinion on Tesla has revealed her Tesla price target, which is interesting. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. ARK Invest Chief Executive Officer Cathie Wood expects Tesla stock to reach $2,600 per share within 5 years, citing autonomous driving and robotaxis as the company's primary value drivers, not its robots. Now, obviously, its robotics division will play a part, but Cathie Wood saying the primary reason for Tesla stock going from $250 approximately today to $2,600 within 5 years is autonomous driving and robotaxis. This prediction implies a tenfold increase from current levels, and it was shared during an interview recently with Bloomberg. Wood said that Tesla's intentions for humanoid robots, which he thinks are not yet reflected in the company's worth, will provide further upside. With around $646 million in exposure, Tesla remains the top position in ARK Invest's flagship product, which is ARK Innovation ETF. Reflecting a year-to-date decline of 39%, Tesla shares closed at $263 on Friday. Amid declining sales and increasing competition, especially in China, says Yahoo Finance, the stock has lost around 50% of its value since November 2024. Now, I should point out, Tesla's declining sales in China are not real. This is a media myth. We haven't seen Tesla sales in China decline significantly. They have gone down a little bit, but not that much. And you can attribute the decline in China all to just the changeover from the old Model Y to the new Model Y. That said, will Tesla sales decline in the US and Europe? Absolutely. They have done so this year, and that is significant. I think it's important, though, to distinguish media hyperbole from truth and fiction and look at the reality here. And that is, yes, Tesla sales are unquestionably being affected by negative Tesla sentiment in Europe and the United States, but they are not affected by that in China. The Chinese could not care less about American politics. While European deliveries declined 42% in the first 2 months of 2025, February sales in China decreased around 50%. And part of this was following outcry over CEO Elon Musk's political ties. The electric car manufacturer also struggles. Well, its reputation has been damaged, of course, in North America and Europe. Musk has lately advised staff members not to sell their shares, indicating internal worries about the direction of the business, partially, potentially, or Elon Musk genuinely does think that the Cybercab robotaxi will be approved this year and that Tesla stock will bounce back. Now, I suspect that's probably what he thinks, but it might be a combination of the two. Down from 387,000 a year earlier, first quarter 2025 deliveries should fall between 345,000 to 390,000 cars. Forecasts for the whole year are at 1.7 million, which would be down from 1.8 million in 2024. Citing poor fundamentals and more competition, HSBC cut its price target on Tesla for $165 to $130, citing a second straight year of falling deliveries. JP Morgan decreased its projection to $120. Mentioning potential expansion linked to Tesla's robotics goals, Piper Sandler actually increased its target to $500. Basically, people are saying, or investment analysts are saying, one group is saying Tesla's going to go skyrocket and you've got to make a lot of money if you're sitting in Tesla stock, or the alternative is Tesla's going to come down by 50%. Which do you guys think? General attitude, though, is cautious when it comes to Tesla. Cathie Wood insists that her long-term value goal might be justified by improvement in artificial intelligence and self-driving technologies. And to some degree, Bill Gates kind of appears to agree with this. Bill Gates said a couple of days ago that he believes most Americans will lose their jobs over the next 10 to 15 years because of the rapid pace of artificial intelligence development. He said it surprised him. He didn't expect AI to advance so quickly. And then as a result, basically robots like Tesla's bots will take over human jobs. And if that is the case, well, Tesla stock being at 2,600 in 5 years could be an understatement. It could be even double that. Imagine, here's the thing. The global workforce is a much larger market than autonomy. It's much, much, much larger than the automotive industry. It's by far the largest market in the world. If Tesla can disrupt the global labor force, then it stands to potentially be worth many trillions of dollars. But we don't know if that's going to happen. No one really knows. So guys, I'm curious, how do you see this playing out? Do you agree with the doom and gloom scenario around Tesla, or maybe that's a realistic scenario, or the bullish scenario of Tesla being worth potentially thousands of dollars in the future? Let me know in the comment section. I'm sure many of you have seen those factories in China, the ones where there's no lights on in the factory, right? There's no need for lights because robots don't need lights like humans do. Well, when will robots replace human beings on the factory floor? It's going to happen. It's already beginning to happen in China. But when will humans no longer be needed to manufacture cars? Well, Mercedes-Benz's CEO has come out and given us an actual timeline. This is a bit of a concern. If you work in an automotive industry factory, I mean, in the United States, you might have a higher chance of keeping your job. But I would say in places like Europe and China, probably not so much. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Bit of a concern here. Tony Seba, he's talked all about how humanoid robots will take our jobs, all of them, and no one will be safe. And eventually that will lead to a very different world. Huge productivity. I mean, global GDP will skyrocket, but I mean, who's going to buy stuff? I don't know. Where's all the money going to come from? It's going to be a very interesting world. It's going to be so different, isn't it? So the CEO of Mercedes-Benz has come out and said, given it a date, an actual date for when in Europe, basically Mercedes-Benz, and I'm assuming other German car manufacturers, won't need human beings to make cars anymore. That might actually give them a chance to be competitive with China. It possibly could. Mercedes-Benz has actually already launched a pilot project with humanoid robots that it says could begin working alongside, in other words, replacing factory workers within the next 5 years. Of course, in China, BYD, NIO, Huawei, other car companies, they are using robots in a similar way. In fact, even Toyota themselves is also using them. But those robots are getting much, much better. Neural networks are getting faster and improving at a truly staggering rate. So that means that the robots they have today, I wouldn't call them dumb robots. They're certainly much smarter than the robots we had, say, 5 years ago. But they're pretty dumb in comparison to the robots we're going to have in 4 or 5 years' time, because they just are improving at an incredible pace. We have never seen the pace of improvement that we're seeing today. If you're watching YouTubers or reading certain blogs and articles telling you that's not true, I promise you, they are not telling you the truth. They're trying to protect your feelings, telling you what you want to hear because, your job's safe. Don't worry, they're not getting better. They're not changing very much. That is completely false. These robots will unquestionably replace humans within 10 years. There won't be human beings working on production lines. It just doesn't make sense. If you have a robot which can work 24 hours a day, which doesn't complain, which doesn't try to sue you, which doesn't have sick days, which has basically all the strength that you need, could lift 2, 3, 4 times more than a human being, and which costs a tiny fraction